Hello everyone, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to another video. This is the Demoscene report for the 2nd of October 2024. As usual, I go through all of the news that I could find regarding the active Demoscene community. I summarize everything here on this video. All the links are on the description below, so you can check things at your own leisure. And leisure indeed, because it's still summer, despite some people claiming otherwise. You can chill out with our friend here on the hammock, hanging out. Thanks Sule for this little Tech80 animation. And we are wrapping up the summer, which in Demoscene terms means the end of most of the demo party activities. But there are still a few demo parties happening on this past few months of summer. One of the last summer parties of this summer season was QBParty 2024 Infinite, happening in Hungary. The last event of a QBParty at this particular location. They might still organize it elsewhere, from what I understood. Quite a few different number of competitions happened at this demo party, so let's take a look at the different ones, starting off with the 256 byte intro competition. Sweet Potato by Travis of Moonshine, just a very basic DOS effect, getting 8th place. Then a couple of effects by Antiemis of the Bad Sectors, here with what the F, making reference to the function logo, and also Casca by Antiemis, which I think is a duck, supposedly. Anyway, small intros there. Then Miss You, which I couldn't get to run. I didn't see the video of, so I have no clue what it is. Dilemma Plane by Nap of Dilemma, with a very basic XOR plane. And in third place, the Chain Coder by Ionic of Astraidea. Very clean smoke effect, kind of using the plasma to its advantage. Very well polished. I think this should have probably won the competition, in my humble opinion. Then the Better Than Nothing Second Reality Tunnel by Blackie of Exact, trying to re-implement the Second Reality Tunnel, but not quite there yet. It's a very old effect. We've seen it hundreds of times before. And then the winner was Lucky Wheel Tunnel by Mesh of Absolute, just doing some triangle spin wheel on TIC80, and this won the 256 byte intro competition at QBParty. Then they had the 45-second fast demo, where the demos were only of 45 seconds length, which can be good, can be bad. It forces you to focus down on a specific single concept. That's the good part, and they had 4 interesting demos on it. Cinco by Asterisk was one of them, just a single shape and some distortion effect on it. Looked alright, but missed some narrative to it. Alone in the Darkness also had some good mood into it, but didn't really progress on the storyline. You were left wondering what the hell this is about. Das Universum by Tevi, using all the colors that you have in the universe, overbleeding into white, and yeah, it was okay. Get Out by Crisis Productions, reflecting on the human trouble of working every day on things that you don't like doing. Which is not a novel concept, but I guess it's still worth being revisited. So yeah, overall, I think it was a worthy winner. Get Out by Crisis Productions of this small competition. Only 4 entries, so not that much competition, but pretty solid nonetheless. And they had the 8 kilobyte intro competition instead of the more traditional 4 kilobyte. With 8 kilobytes, you can do a little bit more things. Archie did this funny little intro of ducks falling down a gutter, which in hindsight is not all that funny because they never get out, spoiler alert. It's missing that conclusion, like how do you get the ducks out of the grid afterwards? I guess that's why he got 4th place. In third place, Food Porn by Brian and Yaki. Pretty good visually, some good ideas there, but I particularly didn't like the sound. I'm not sure if it was bugged for me in particular in Windows 11 or if it was just too simplistic, but it felt too basic for an 8K. I could understand if they were in 4K and missing some space for proper music, but in this case, it's just lack of skill maybe, or maybe it's a bug on the replay code, I don't know. But it didn't sound good to me. Second place, Desert of the Real by Tio and Tifeco. Solid little intro, some decent amount of content there. Didn't particularly like the aesthetics of it, but good intro and worthy second place overall, I believe. And in first place, also worthy winner, Dashi by Antiemes of the Bad Sectors. Very simple effect, but well executed. The music was also pretty decent. I did miss some syncs on the bass drum though. That was the only nitpicking I have on this. Otherwise, pretty solid little intro here. And if you check the file size, it's only actually using like 3 kilobytes. Moving on to the combined graphics competition, also had quite a few number of interesting entries, starting off with this parody on Mario Kart, some jokes in Hungarian, some Petsky art as well, some rendering, Storm God by Chesser, some Commodore 64 pixel art, Camping by Boogleboo, some pixel art as well, but I think made for PC or a sprite or something like that. Tuscan Afternoon by Kaloshai Machohimzo Zakor. I don't know why I tried to read that. For the Commodore 64. Also a very nice piece. Some 3D rendering, Homecoming of Ra, The Arrive, pixel art by Cop S of Leader, Primal and Slackers, doing some pixel art for the Amiga. Smoke by Boogleboo, which was one of the more charismatic images of the graphics competition, so one of my personal favorites. Second place, Love Plus Self by Newtowo, I guess it's how you say it. Some hand-drawn graphics artwork as well. And the winner was Street Art by Leon of Chorus and Resource, which does have the Commodore 64 palette, but does not respect the Commodore 64 pixel limitations. So I guess it's like extended pixel art of sort, but using the Commodore 64 palette. Worthy winner, congratulations Leon on first place. Combined music competition was won by TO, Focus Design and Rebels with Star Glider. Then we had the demo competition, which is the highlight of all the demo parties. Third place, Cosmos by Eastgate. The rendering technology is good, but it feels like they ran out of time. They didn't have like a proper concept behind it. The music wasn't really my cup of tea at all. The demo outstayed its welcome. It also reused some shader effects from other people, which at least they credited, so that's good. Overall, I like the visual look of it, but it's missing something to be worth replaying, in my humble opinion. Probably a rushed demo, I guess. But the technology, the rendering technology, looks pretty good for its own engine. As far as I know, it's their own engine. If it's not, then it's not so good. Then in second place, En Bistos Nem by Fresh Mindworks. I guess it's a throwback to the 90s where you had a random effect with a random picture of a girl in every single scene of a demo. The plus here, or the innovation, is that they also have it as a voxel height map of some sort with some lighting coming out of it. Music is the usual psytrance, which is not my cup of tea at all, so I didn't really like this demo despite the throwbacks to the 90s references. The winner had more modern approach to it, and I did like it a little bit more. Worthy winner in my humble opinion, Lechel HB 160, presenting to you a very low-end refrigerator. This is the best demo that I've ever seen made about refrigerators. It's also the only demo that I've seen made about refrigerators. I do remember some demos about washing machines before in the past. I do remember a demo that was made for a smart chip of a refrigerator by LFT at some point, a chip on a smart refrigerator. This one did not seem smart enough. It seemed pretty low end of a refrigerator, so I don't think they are related. Anyways, pretty good demo, solid presentation, well done TGD. Game development competition, I did not see it, I did not play the games, I cannot comment on them. Old school demo competition had a pretty good diversity of platforms overall, which was pretty interesting. A few productions for the Commodore 64, like Shadow Scroller here, Red Green Balloon by DNP, Dr. Im by Cassie75, doing something for the ZX Spectrum, as he always does. Moon Canyon intro by Cheezer, their first intro for the Commodore 64, I believe. Jerry Plasma by Fast Force for the Videoton TV, which I had never heard of before. Apparently was 16-bit, 8-bit machine from Eastern Europe, mostly popular in Hungary, as far as I know. Cool that people are doing some new development for it. The the demo was not that amazing, just a couple of effects in there and a reference to Jean-Michel Jarre. But cool that people are exploring old computers to do new art in. The third place was also done for the same machine, so I guess they had like understanding that they would try to do battle to the death in the demo making for QBParty on the Videoton TV. A few memes here, Mission Impossible theme, and a few other things. More meme funny than a real demo, but I guess it's good that people are exploring the Videoton TV. Would like to see some more serious demos made on that platform though in the future. Second place, Harom Nul by Lethargy for the Commodore 64, also very solid Commodore 64 demo. And in first place, The Chosen by Primal, doing something for the Primo, which is also a very unique platform made more popular in Hungary as well. I had seen a demo made by Primal as well for it on AROC Demoparty a little while back, which was pretty interesting and showed really the capabilities of the machine. This one explored it as well. It's monochrome, as you can see, 1-bit music as well, so very limited machine. Interesting that people can do some demos out of it. This demo in particular was a bit of a meme reference inside the Hungarian demo scene, referencing the last organizers of demo parties and traveling back to old demo parties that were notorious in the Hungarian demo scene. And I guess it was more of a pitch for Ferris to keep organizing QBParty elsewhere than anything else. So yeah, Ferris, I hope you got the message and that you try to keep organizing QBParty. And that was a worthy winner of the old school demo competition at QBParty as well, in my humble opinion. Photo competition, always a lot of submissions for this competition. I'm gonna skip a few and just focus on the top 5. An important monument of some sort that I have no knowledge of, some cats, Electro by Outlook, which was one of the more peculiar photos of the competition. I still have no clue how this was taken. I guess it's like a reflection on the water of a statue that's being lit by some LEDs of some way. So yeah, interesting. In second place, Coda Colors by Pashi of Rebels. Very good image here. I like how the colors on the wall match the eyes. So that was a nice little touch there. And the winner, 10 minutes before deadline by Copas of a Leader, with a more conceptual piece, I would call. So yeah, nice little photo competition at QBParty. Tracked music competition was won by Joss, a remote submission, I would expect, with Benjamin Funky. Tracked music entry. And then the wild demo and animation competition, not that many entries. The third entry was a joke reference to some troubleshooting over Woohoo system, from what I understood from what Gaga was telling me on Discord. They were panicking that they ran out of disk space on the upload system, and it turns out they had forgotten to put the M at the end of the php.ini configuration of the server, so they were limiting the entries to 256 bytes upload instead of 256 megabytes upload. So yeah, was a reference to that. As far as I know, I did not see the competition. Then a nice little timeline presentation of a butterfly coming out of its cocoon, very well caught, so good work there, and a nice little video. And it's amazing how you can do these things on your own home nowadays in high quality stuff that like 20 years ago you would need, dedicated high-end equipment, and now you can pretty much do it at home. and with good results. First place, Vilagtalan by Altera. A lot of 3D assets in it, a lot of different scenes in it, an animation video. In the end, I did not understand the story because it's all in Hungarian, but it seemed pretty solid video animation entry overall. So congratulations for winning the Wild Demo and Animation competition at QBParty 2024. So that's all that I had to talk about for QBParty. Moving on, I wanted to talk about the entries for Black Birdie, but they haven't been released yet officially. Same thing for Demohässäkkä 2024, little demo that happened in Pirkanmaa, Finland, and releases are also missing, so I'm still waiting on those. Then I found a few interesting things popping up on the internet that I think you might be interested as well. A technical explanation on how they hacked Doom to play on a space station satellite. And the different things that they tested there as well. So nice little presentation there by Olafur. I recommend you checking it out if you like tech nerdy computing stuff in space. This very cool technical write-up on how to do color transparency for the Sega Mega Drive. It's only a thread on Reddit, but still worth the read, especially if you like developing for old school platforms. Then there was this call for hybrid live coding interfaces. If you want to present something related to live coding, accessibility of live coding, and any other stuff, any kind of presentation related to live coding practices and new live coding practices they might want, or applications of live coding, you can submit your pitch to hybrid live coding interfaces and yeah, hopefully get accepted and present some work or idea that you might have. And then there were quite a few updates by Superoak on the Marqueedesign blog, write-ups about all the small little intros that he's been doing throughout the last few years. Updates on Metropolis, Marvelous, Celos, Perfect Storm, and House of Mojo for fantasy consoles. Also Pharos for the Micro W8, and a write-up on Datura for the Apple II as well. So a lot of stuff. If you're looking for pro tips into size coding, this is definitely the blog to check out for multiple different platforms at the same time. Then there were a few productions following up the announcement that Gargai was going to step down from administrator duties of Pouet. Hitchhiker did this little De La Pouet is dead joke entry about it. There was also I Love Pouet by Bittle of 7 Dump, referencing the same thing. Been out of the loop of the latest Pouet occurrences. Gargai stepping down from his admin job for the past 17 years that he's been doing. He is fed up with Pouet, wants to take a step down, and people were wondering if Analog would really show up to pick up the administrative duties that Gargai has been upkeeping. Actually, he managed to talk with Analog briefly last week, and he does seem to be interested and motivated to come back to pick up, see what has been happening to Pouet on the last few years, contact the moderator team, figure out a way forward for the project now that the one-man show Gargai has stepped down from the administrative duties. What else? A few releases outside of any competition. HCL 50 by Swallow, I guess, congratulations HCL. Plasma Intro by Triad, also by Triad, the Blob Tunes, a little music disc with the tracks by NE7. And this past weekend, there were not any demo parties, but there were a few different meetup. HackFest was a little hacker camp sort of get together in Holland. They had a small Demoscene presence there. With some bite jams happening, some presentations as well. So targeting some little outreach for the more hacker community and retro computing community people. Then we had the WebGL Souhonzan Normalized FM 10th plus 3rd Annivrersary festival that took place, I think, in Japan. Some Japanese seniors got together and did like a shader jam session of some sort. I'm not sure if there's a recording of this anywhere. The shaders look pretty good though. So yeah, always cool to see more Demoscene activity outside of the regular demo parties. We also had something similar happening in Portugal that same weekend, Momentum number 17, just a meetup of Demoscene and retro computing enthusiasts here in Portugal. And Paul Falcão, who did this background effect that we used on the flyer, also took the opportunity opportunity to port it live to shadertoy, where it's available now for you to play around with. It was originally made in Material Maker and then ported to shadertoy and just made available a couple days before the event itself. I actually did a video report on the momentum, talked about the different things that happened there, so check out that video if you're interested in learning more about the event itself. Talking about videos on YouTube, LFT released another video making 8-bit music from scratch using BASIC because he can and he's crazy like that. Very interesting video, especially if you don't know Commodore 64 that well. You learn a lot of small tricks on things that you can do even in BASIC with it. Then Bacchus was revisiting compression on one of his FairLight TV videos as well. The Eric Radio Network released another episode of Flashback with music from the Demoscene. And we had the Commodore Amiga News week of September 29 with AmigaBill as well, where I actually found this very interesting video made by the Industrious Rabbit explaining the Amiga Blitter in a very simple way. So if you're interested to learn how the Amiga Blitter works, this is an interesting video to see. Then there was this Variform Acapella take by Matt Frequencies, which was not the best, but at least he tried, he gave it a shot, which can be quite hard, but can be funny to see nonetheless. And I think that's it in terms of videos. Oh yeah, one thing that I wanted to mention was the Agon light. I didn't really pay much attention to it when it originally came out, but I recently saw this video explaining a little bit more about what it actually does and how it compares to other chips, and I can summarize that information and maybe it will be interesting for you as well. So it's pretty much a jacked up Z80. It's the fastest Z80 chip that you have. So in that regard, it is an 8-bit machine at its core with a modern in a modern PCB. So you can adapt your old Z80 code and see it going very fast, or you can take advantage of the EZ80 chip that it actually uses. Then the interesting thing is that it actually has a VDP chip to control the output things, and that can be flashed as well. So from what I understood, this works more as an educational sort of platform so that you can tinker around with both the Z80 code if you want to do original Z80 and basic or even machine code language kind of stuff. But then you can control the VDP at different ways, so it can behave like the old Commodore 64, like, and even, you know, make it have some functionality that was only available for Amiga. So it's interesting in that regard and hasn't been fully exploited yet in terms of Demoscene. There's only a very few basic demos of the Amiga bouncing ball around or some very basic stuff. Basic in terms that it actually uses the basic coding language and not, assembler or machine code in any way. So I think it's a very interesting platform. I don't have time to play around with it, so I'm not gonna get one. But if you're interested in hardware and 8-bit stuff, I think it's very interesting platform to check out. The original was Agon Lite. They also have an Agon Lite 2 revision as well. And you also have the Agon Console 8 as well, which comes with a case in itself. So yeah, interesting little machine. If you're interested in it, check it out. And then right before I was starting to record this video, this article came out by Bala Koala, Boris Vallejo and the pixel art of the Demoscene. If you're a Demoscene veteran, you've probably seen a lot of Boris Vallejo copies in different pixel art and demo artwork throughout the years, mostly in the 90s, I would guess. It started becoming a little bit out of fashion when we started entering 2000s, but it always was a big reference in terms of fantasy lore. So a lot of Demosceners copied it and made, pixel art versions. Both Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, Amiga, even PC had a lot of Boris Vallejo references on it. And this article goes very deeply into it, not extremely deeply, but does a nice overview of the different things, showing some examples and explaining the logic behind it. So yeah, if you want to know more about Boris and its influence on the demo scene, definitely check out this article in particular. Then there are quite a few demo scene events happening this weekend, and one of that I wanted to mention was the PT Weekender Beat Bash Boulevard, where they play Amiga music, DJ sets, completely live streamed. I believe will be the main spot on YouTube. So check out PT Weekender this weekend. I probably won't be able to do that because I will be traveling to Deadline in Berlin. So I hope to see you there, 4th to 6th of October, a Deadline demo party in Berlin. Also on the same weekend, we have Flash Party happening in Argentina, Demodulation happening in Russia, and Vintage Computer Carinthia meetup happening in Austria. So a lot of stuff happening this coming weekend in the demo scene. The week after that, we will have the alternative party in Helsinki as well, which promises to be interesting. Syntax showing what our friends from Down Under have been cooking up. Then a few smaller demo parties, Brown Birdie and Benediction Coding Party for the Amstrad CPC in France. Zoo demo party for the Commodore 64 in Finland, Compare Demo Splash Sessions, 30N Experience, Syntax Society Christmas, Silly Venture Winter Edition, and Inertia demo party. And then Tomb to round up the year. So still quite a lot of demo parties coming up on the demo party calendar. But for me, that is it for this week. I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that jazz. Also share the link with a friend. Please, please, please share the link with a friend. That's the best way that you can help the channel reach a wider audience. So if you know anyone interested in the demo scene or creative computing or digital art or anything of that sort, please share this video with them. Other than that, I bid you farewell. If you would like to support me financially to keep doing this weekly videos as well, you can do so through patreon.com/psenough, or you can meet up with me at Deadline and, you know, just buy me beer or whatever you think I might use. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye bye everybody. Have a great day.